Hey guys, how's it going? Topic of this video is non-violent personal safety while living in a van. Now, I'm going to say as a precursor to this, you people that watch this, some of you are going to disagree with me, and that's okay. I don't mind if you disagree with me. But I'm hoping that even though there may be disagreements, we can accept the differences, not resort to insults or name calling, and get along in a fruitful and peaceful way. So basically, when I say non-violent personal safety, I mean dealing with situations that can be challenging, let's say, in terms of your personal safety, without resorting to guns or anything that would be a violent resort. You know what? If somebody's going to break in my van, say if I was a gun owner and, I had a gun to protect myself, and someone broke into my van, maybe they're addicted to drugs and they want to, oftentimes that is the case. They're addicted to drugs and they need to steal what they can to sell to feed their drug habit. Now, if I have a gun and someone's breaking into my van and I have the mentality that this is my right to shoot them, to protect myself or my property, well, let's take a look at that. So first of all, they're not going to abuse me physically, okay? The worst they can do is steal my stuff. And so what? It's just stuff. I am not going to shoot somebody, especially in a van, which is a very close area, and chances are strong that they would be killed or very seriously injured. I am not going to shoot somebody to protect valuables in my van, which essentially I don't really have any valuables. My bass guitar is the most valuable thing I have, and it's worth $2,000 when I bought it. But that was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. So right now, maybe I could sell it for $800 or $900. Whoop-de-doo. I got my phone. That's worth like maybe $300 or $400. This is all Canadian prices, by the way. And so really, I don't really own anything that can't be replaced. And I would never want to take somebody's life or injure them seriously to protect my personal possessions, because it's just not worth it to me. I'd rather them be in good health and get medical attention for their drug habit than cause them physical harm. Of course, at the same time, I'm not going to sucker. I'm not going to say, here, take my stuff. Here you go, blah, blah, blah. Now, having said that, there are a few things that you can do to protect yourself that doesn't have to result in someone losing their life or having serious bodily injury. Bear spray or pepper spray is a big one that a lot of people think of. I don't think I'd want to use that for a couple of reasons. Number one is that if you spray somebody with pepper spray or mace or bear spray in your van, you are going to get sprayed yourself. There's no way around it. That is like 3 feet away from you or less in a very enclosed space. You're going to succumb to the stuff yourself. And that stuff is so intense. I really don't want to end up in a hospital or whatever. And then you have to deal with the fact that it's in your van and you have to live in that van with a strong odor. I don't know how long it would stay in the van. Maybe you could turn your roof vent on, and suck it out. But so that's another issue. The other issue with that stuff is that I actually did some reading up on this, and in Canada, you cannot spray somebody with mace or bear spray legally. You can only do as much as you can to defend yourself in a reasonable way. So, for example, if somebody's robbing you or breaking into your garage in the backyard, you can't go out there with a shotgun and just shoot them. Say, you're stealing my stuff. You're on my property. Shoot, you're dead. No. You can't go up there and start like stabbing them with a knife. You can't do that because your response to their threat is to too great of a degree. It's beyond what's considered reasonable. I think I'm 90% sure that's the law in Canada. Now, you can defend yourself, and if he's about to shoot you, you can shoot him, and then you're not going to be guilty of a crime. But that means he actually has to have a gun pointed at you, or you have to fear for your life in a significant way. In that situation, you can defend yourself with a weapon like that. But if the guy doesn't have any weapons and he's just breaking into your garage and you start going out there and shooting him, no, you're going to jail, buddy. Now, I know in the States it's a very different scenario and the laws are different, and there's a huge gun lobby there and guns are very popular, and it's not that way in Canada. That's especially where I live in Vancouver. When I used to go onto a particular bass guitar forum and talk to people about bass guitars and music and being in a band and stuff, there would be threads about, check out this new gun I got. And I'm like, what's that got to do with playing music? And the mentality, this is a big cultural difference between where I am and what I see from most Americans, is that the love of guns is really quite significant, a huge difference. Up here, we don't really, guns are a non-issue, as far as I can tell anyway. Now, again, like I said in the beginning of the video, this is just my opinion. I'm not a gun person. I never will have a gun. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to shoot anybody. And, if you want to steal my stuff, okay, that's fine. I can replace it. I'm not going to kill you to defend it. So bear spray, that's one thing. So I wouldn't want to use bear spray, or pepper spray or whatever. Another thing you can do, which I actually have, is an air horn that is very, very loud. And in an enclosed van, it would be quite loud. And chances are, if you hear someone breaking into your van and you blow that thing off, they're going to get freaked out and they're going to run away. Because they're not, I would say it's very unlikely that they're wanting a confrontation. They want to just steal what they can for financial profit and be gone. If they know that there's someone in the van, they're not going to go in the van. This is one reason why I actually leave a gap in the bottom of my door where I know that light can get through. Because if you're looking into the van, like looking in the seating area, you're going to see that light, and then you're going to know that there's somebody in there. Especially if it's remotely considered a camper van or a van that someone could live in. So if someone could see that light, they're going to think, oh, there's someone in there, I'm not going to bother. It's kind of like a deterrent for breaking into it. Now, yeah, there could be the cops or security looking at that light and thinking the same thing, but I'd much rather deal with security or cops than someone trying to break in my van. I'd much, much rather deal with them. All they're going to do is tell me to move on. It's like, okay, sure, no problem. But I avoid all that in the first place by parking in places that don't attract attention of security and police, such as in front of apartment buildings or areas where there's not going to be an issue. Okay, so air horn, that's another option that I mentioned. Another one which I saw recently, which I thought was really a good idea, is a very, very, very strong flashlight. I think I saw this lady was using. I could be wrong, but I think she said it had like 2 million candle power or some huge number. And if you flash that in somebody's eyes, they are not going to be able to see anything. So another thing, aside from those two things, the air horn and this very bright flashlight, is I would probably just start yelling and screaming. And I'm not a small person, so in that way, size can be an asset. At 6 feet, probably close to 220 pounds. So if I started yelling at them, chances are strong they wouldn't. Like I said, they're not interested in having a confrontation. They just want to steal your stuff. So chances are strong that they would leave. So there you have it, guys. Non-violent personal safety while living in a van. Another issue is being a big concern of mine is parking somewhere and then being towed while I'm in the van. I don't know. That's completely unrealistic thought, but I do think about that. What would happen if I was in the van and someone started towing me? Now, they're not allowed to tow you if you're in the van, but how are they going to know that? I mean, of course, again, having that crack at the bottom of my door would be a dead giveaway that there's somebody in there with a light shining through the bottom of the door. So then they would have to figure it out. And the other thing would just be like having my van stolen. I think that would be the worst because, if you live somewhere and it's gone and all the stuff you own is in that van, that would be pretty terrible. But that's why you need to have a large emergency fund where you have a number of thousands of dollars stashed away in your bank account that you don't touch in case this happens, where you can replace your van and virtually everything that you have in it that was of any value. Anyways, guys, again, I just want to say, if people start leaving comments in the comment section about how you should really have a gun, blah, 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 I'm not going to get into a debate about it. I understand your opinion. I respect your right to have a difference of opinion, but I'm not going to engage in a debate over it. I don't see any value in that. I just think that it's a good thing to accept differences and have a peaceful dialogue rather than I'm right, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong. Well, yeah. Anyway, that's all I can say about that. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good night.